What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to take a look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth here on the MSi Claw and the ROG Ally X. A little bit of a different video here, but I wanted a chance to take a look at performance for both of these and do a pretty good comparison so you guys can see what we're getting for both of these chipsets as well on these devices. And this game itself just isn't as good of a port as I anticipated. There's no 1610 support. It's mostly 1080p or 720, and there's a lot of frame rate drops, stutters, and other issues that come along with it. But with that said, taking a look at performance here, options as far as what we get that we can really play with here, we'll take a look at a couple of different things, but mostly you wind up having to stick yourself to low with 66% as the bottom on your dynamic resolution scaling and medium on your textures, and that's what you'll wind up seeing me go to in the video, and that's what we're going to use when we get to the comparison. We'll take a look at some medium and stuff though. We're going to use TAAU here. It is a bit cleaner, though it costs a couple of FPS. There's no FSR in this game either. Again, like I said, it's not that great of a port in my opinion. However, the game itself I'm having a blast with, and Rebirth is really good. So hopefully we'll get some patches here to fix this up. But here's the settings I actually wind up using for all of the handhelds that I have that works the best for me. Now, when you're looking at different performance for 17 watts, 30 watts, that's your two choices for like your AAA here on the MSi Claw. And there's going to be areas of this game where at 17 watts trying to run 1080p, even with that dynamic resolution scaling, is really a mess. I haven't run into anything I can really run 17 watts on the Ally or the Claw in this game, other than maybe 720p with these lower settings getting away with it. But if I switch this to our higher TDP option here, our manual, we can go to 30 watts on the Claw. We don't have any in between yet, unfortunately, but 30 watts will clean things up a bit, even though it still will dip under 30 FPS at 1080p, especially you get later on in the game or you get into battles and things like that. It's going to dip down on you some more. And we'll move around here and go to a couple of different areas. This is another main, like the first town or city area that you come to here, where performance on all the devices gets pretty sketchy as well, especially at 1080p. 720p will pretty much keep you up there, but 1080 doesn't do so good here. And in the comparison, you'll see 1080p and 720p at various TDPs as well for the devices. Now we'll go out here. I know a lot of you guys have been commenting me that you're running this game at medium, and that's fine. I don't know if you're doing that at 720p or 1080p, but we'll go in here and we'll switch the game just to the medium preset without really tweaking anything else and leaving that alone. And even at 30 watts, there's just absolutely no way at 1080p that this device or any other one that I've tested has been able to do it. The game is a bit of a mess on my 4060 Ti as well, even with 1080p. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, performance gets pretty rough, even though the game does look better when you're trying to do anything medium. Maybe you could turn a few medium settings on, but you're not going to get away with something like the preset. And then we'll go back over to our low medium here. Now again, we can switch to 720p for the game. No 800p support again, or 1610 here. And this will give us a good bit better performance and help out a bit. And it doesn't look great in person, that's for sure, but it will give you the FPS and help keep you above that 30 a bit easier than it will when you're in the 1080p. And 30 watts here at medium, it still doesn't work at 720p. So even if you're doing medium 720p, you're going to be coming down in frame rate so often trying to play the game. So we're going to switch back here. We're going to go with my low 1080p, 66%, 30 watts here, and there you go. We'll get back to that performance. But yeah, I think you guys are getting the idea here of what's going on, and I haven't really been able to run it anything higher than low with medium textures, whether I'm 17, 30 watts, or on the Ally at 17, 25, or 30. And you'll see a lot of that in the comparison. And we're about to take a look at the Ally X as well, just like we did the MSi Claw here. But before we got to the comparisons, I wanted to show you guys performance for each of these, and kind of, it's tough to run, and you really do have to keep things pretty low to pull it off here. So let's go ahead and switch over to the Ally X with the Z1 Extreme. And we'll be using the same kind of settings here. We're not going to change anything different. Low with medium textures, 66% to 100%. VRR is set up there, and borderless full screen. Everything the same, and we'll jump in here. And performance is very similar to what we see on the Claw. It's similar to what I get on my Legion Go, and we've also got a video up on the Steam Deck. But this device only goes to 25 watts when unplugged. So 17 works out, that's their performance mode, or 17 manual would match the MSi Claw. 25 watts is going to be its max, and 30 watts will be the Claw's max when unplugged. And I like to test what these devices do in handheld mode, actually unplugged, playing them. But when we get to the comparison spot, you will see some plugged in 30 watt stuff, just to give you guys a general idea. Even at that, the Claw will beat the Ally X and the Z1 Extreme in this game pretty easily at 1080p and 720p, which you'll see. But what you're seeing here between the 17 and 25 watts, low and medium textures, 1080 is very similar in performance and some frame time issues, frame drops, and things like that we do see over on the Claw as well. Hopefully we will get some stuff to fix up this game a bit. Again, I hate to sound like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I've tried this on 3 different desktop PCs as well, a 2060, 3060, and 4060 Ti, and all of them struggle with this game at 1080p and have frame rate drops and frame pacing issues and all of that. And over here on the Ally X, same thing. If I were to try to switch this over to medium, things get pretty rough pretty quick if we're trying to do that even at the 25 watts. So again, I'm just not seeing the ability other than maybe a couple of settings of being able to bring that up. Even if we go to 720p, medium preset, 25 watts unplugged here, it's going to dip below 30 quite often, especially in other areas of the game. So we'll go ahead and switch back here, just like we did on the MSi Claw, back to my 1080p, low with medium textures, 66% resolution scaling, and we have 25 watts here. But anyways, I think you guys are getting an idea of what's going on here with performance, and I hope that we'll get some patches and things that will fix this game up a bit, because again, it's not just on handhelds. I'm seeing issues elsewhere also, but if you want to play these, you're really going to have to keep those settings down and probably even your resolution down if you're playing on the handhelds. But I'm going to leave you guys with a bunch of comparison here for these devices to check out, show you performance for what's going on here, more for the Claw, the Ally X, and some of the Z1 Extreme versus the new Intel Arc 140V here in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So, as always, guys, thanks a lot for coming to watch. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
We're so glad you're here.
Whoa! Please, good luck out there. This Mako tank allows us to live in comfort with every modern.
No mercy for you. Come on. That's it. Let's do this. Farewell. Let's go.
Keep your wits about.
Gonna be here?
The Nibelheim Watch is standing guard. Keep your wits about you.
Gonna be here?
The Nibelheim watch is standing guard.
Going in.
For you!
Don't want that.
Reactors are terrible for nearby farmlands.
This Makotech allows us to live in comfort.
Okay then.
Just like that, okay? Won't take long.
This one's for you!
Let's do this.
Moving on then.